Hey, welcome to the video of our mindfulness session, the first one that we did with Krista Klauser. What you're about to see is the beginning part of the session and then the ending part. So, in the beginning part, Krista told us about her research and the work she's doing for her master's degree and talked about studies that have been done that talk about how mindfulness practice, so practice being a verb or like going to practice, by a business owner actually yields results throughout the whole organization and can yield higher levels of employee satisfaction, teamwork, creativity, etc. So it's really great if an organization does some mindfulness work down through the employee body and especially with the leadership team. But studies have also been done that show that mindfulness practice by the owner, first of all, will lead to more joy and less tension and less stress and better physical health. It's all tied to stress levels and mental health, so on and so forth. But then also will bear fruit down through the organization. So give this a watch. You can see that information in the beginning, and then what you'll see is the reflection of the people that were there. There were three of us, three business owners that were there. You'll hear us talk about what we experienced as we did some breathing and some intentional movement with Krista. We did this during the day, and there was something really that we had to push through to show up to a call in the middle of the day and move and breathe. And then we all talked about how helpful it was to do that in the middle of the day and how we felt like we were going to be more productive in the afternoon. So give it a watch. I hope this helps. Thanks.
It's all good. Hey, Lisa and Tia, thank you for being here. And Craig had also registered, but maybe something came up at lunchtime. Lisa has met Craig, is a wonderful guy, runs a home improvement business. So just in case he jumps in, that's who Craig is. He's in the Camp Hill, Pennsylvania area. And yeah, Krista and I, I've known Erin, her husband, for a long time, and Krista for a long time. We went to church and our kids were all together, and then we would do cookouts, and they lived locally. They helped Catherine and I get started with homeschooling once upon a time and helped us make that leap, which we didn't make permanent. We've been back and forth. We've done every kind of schooling you could imagine, cyber, homeschool, etc. But it was really great that they helped us with that. And then when I was ready to make the leap from corporate world to having my coaching consulting practice, Erin and Krista had, I don't know how long have you been in business?
11 years now.
11 years, and I've been 8. So you had made the leap three years or so before that. And Lisa, you can probably appreciate this. It's kind of scary when you decide you're going to leave the corporate world, and Erin and Krista helped talk us through that, and like really basic things like how do you do your checking account and stuff like that. So when Krista said that she was working on mindfulness for business owners and she might like to cooperate and do some work together, I was like, yeah, that's great. Partially because Tia, you've been working with me for the longest. You know that Krista described it as Wayne in his social posts appears to be mindful-ish. And I'm like, that's pretty true. Like last night, literally, I wrestled my sister's 5 70-pound feeder hogs into a crate on the back of a gator. And my son's like, Dad, I forgot how much they scream. And boy, they do. And then, today I'm really glad to be here. There's a lot of things I like exploring. So that was true, Krista, that I'm mindfulness-ish. And I think it's really important that we all slow down. Tia and Lisa, I'm just getting to know, but you're both super busy trying to balance being parents, doing a great job with that, and business stuff. And it's high demand and everybody wants something from you. So I'm grateful that you're here, Krista, doing this work. And I'll just be quiet from now on and participate for the rest of the time that we're together.
Thank you, Wayne. So thank you for that introduction, and thank you guys for coming to this today. Like Wayne said, I'm a graduate student at the University of Georgia. I'm doing a fully online master's program, and my thesis project is developing a program, and you're part of it today, where I am incorporating mindfulness into a leadership training. So this is the first part. This is step one. So thank you so much for joining me. And just to give you a little bit about my background, my bachelor's degree was in special ed and elementary ed, and I was a special ed teacher before I started my family. I started practicing yoga and meditation all the way back in high school. And I saw the benefits immediately. And basically it just made me feel better. And when something makes you feel better, you want to keep doing it. So that's how I got started. I took a Tai Chi class in college as my phys ed class, which kind of opened up another direction a little bit, kind of the same, but a little different version. Okay, this is cool. But I didn't really have time to dive more into these things for quite a while. So I got started in them, and then I became a homeschool mom when I had my kids. I have 5 kids there. I have 4 teenagers now and an 11-year-old. So they're a lot older. I'm back in school, and now I'm sort of sharing what I've been learning along the way. I do yoga every day with my kids. We do a half an hour practice to start our day. That's how much I believe in this, like really serious stuff. Like it just sets the mood for your entire day, no matter your age or what you're about to do. My husband and I have a business together, as Wayne described, Klauser Environmental. We've been doing it for 11 years. We both work from home, always have. And like I said, we homeschool our kids. So it's very busy and a lot of balls in the air. And I think that's where mindfulness practices, meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong have really helped me and our whole family to stay balanced. And as a business owner, I can kind of relate, I definitely can relate to whether you manage an organization or you own your own business, the stresses that come with that of kind of feeling alone and not knowing where to go, what to do next. And that can really, that can be 24/7, right? Because you never leave it when it's your own business and your own thing. You never leave that and go home and go to bed, basically. Also, of course, if you're doing this as your sole income, like the financial responsibility and obligations that come with that, and of course, trying to work it in with your children and balance that whole thing of being able to support the family, but also spending time and all that's right. I totally get it. I'm with you on it. As far as my training for mindfulness and why I'm like qualified to do this, I have over 560 hours of training as a yoga teacher and mindfulness instructor. I also am a master level teacher and practitioner of Reiki. If you've heard of that, it's an energy movement practice as well. And my yoga teacher training includes Qigong as well, which is like a Chinese energy movement practice. So I just want to ask, what does mindfulness mean to you guys before I start telling you what I think?
I don't know. I guess I've never really thought much about it. Just being more aware of like what you need, and being mindful of how you're feeling, where you're at, what you need, or even others, just how your actions, your words, things that you do maybe impact other people.
Yep. And mindfulness practices don't have to be like a formal meditation or anything like that. It could include like gardening or running, if that's your jam, walks, hiking, fishing, knitting. Knitting is a great one that's kind of repetitive, and you can be in that present moment, and it allows you to open up and be there. So there's lots of different ways. This is just one sort of sample, what we're going to do today of a mindfulness practice. There's lots of different options. The definition of mindfulness that we're kind of going with for this session is a practice that helps you focus your attention and be aware in the present moment and accept it without judgment. Sometimes that last part is the hard part, the acceptance. And you might find that, like, if you start to think. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Peace be with you. May open your eyes. So we have some time for reflection, for processing, how you feel. I'm very open to what felt amazing, what maybe didn't feel amazing, how you felt before, if anything shifted.
Well, it's a good reminder that I need to get back into yoga on a good regular basis. Very tight in my back. And I could definitely feel that. I used to regularly go once a week and just been out of it for a while and very sporadic with it now, but I love it every time I do yoga. And so it's a good reminder to me that everything you said earlier, it's body, mind, spirit, it's helpful when I do it, and I really enjoy it, and I need to make time for me to do it.
Self-care, right?
Yeah, exactly. Typical, we put ourselves last. So
Yep. It's a good reminder for me to just get still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I had trouble just quieting my brain today, and I could see that just how much has shifted from when I was doing meditation before and I was able to get quiet, and now just like, okay, I can tell I'm out of practice of that, because it was just it was challenging to like just quiet and not think about everything else.
Yes. And for me, that it's hard to not judge then, right? Why can't my mind get quiet? Yeah. Why can't I do this? I should have done this. Why did I quit? All of those stories we tell ourselves really aren't particularly helpful. We're here doing it, right? We did it today. So
yeah.
It's awesome.
But just how important it is to like do it, to like what Taya said, like take care of ourselves.
Yep.
So just like Tia said, and Lisa, I haven't been to yoga class or done a practice. I did a couple Zoom yoga classes when Corona crackdown started from inside the gym here, and then I just haven't been back to doing it. So I can actually, my mind quiets very quickly, partially because I use the Headspace meditation app, and I had been off of that for a while. Now the last couple of weeks I've been pretty consistent coming out here in the building in the morning, and so I'm like in the groove and I can get quiet quickly. I don't. So I appreciated doing this in the middle of the day, because this is like breaking the law, right? Like it's the middle of the day and we're doing this stuff for ourselves. And yeah, so that was good for me. And I had a little bit of the first time I ever did yoga and yoga practice, and they did Shavasana at the end. I laid there and it was weird. Like it was really weird. There were some things going on in my coaching life where I was working with somebody whose wife was ill, and I had a guy who had been diagnosed with cancer, and I had heard a lot of heavy stuff. And when I was doing Shavasana, like I was having this weird trippy like flashing in my brain, like things being released. And I was like looking around the room, like, is anybody else having this kind of thing? And I'm like, I don't know, I guess it doesn't matter though, right? So
Right.
today, while we were when you had us breathing there and doing ocean breath, and particularly the counts, what were you doing? 6, 1, 4, or 4,
4 in, 6 out.
4, 1, 6. Yeah. During that part, I could feel that state kind of coming. It didn't come though, because I was like too conscious of what was going on. But I could feel that, whatever that is, where that happens, I get rid of some bad like juju or whatever that I'm carrying around from people that I talked to. It was close.
Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me? I can, you know what, I'm going to put my email in the chat just in case you come up with anything.
And Chris is in Mighty Networks. There's an
Yes.
advertisement for Mighty Networks. Use Mighty Networks. It's
There
great.
you
And then
go.
everybody's there.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
No, I like what you said, Wayne, about it's like breaking the law. I almost didn't come because I felt like I shouldn't take an hour in the middle of my day to do something for myself. I did. I had like a little guilt before I showed up, like, do I really have time for this? And I'm like, I got time for this, and I'm glad I came because it is. It's just like a good, like.
I hope you experience increased productivity and momentum throughout the rest of the day. That is often the case. So yeah. Hopefully it's sort of like a reset.
It is.
That we don't often give ourselves. So
yeah. I was in the habit for a while, and this is typical of me. I do things for a while and then it fades.
That's typical of everybody.
Yeah, I know, right? But I was in the habit for a while of like, I'm going to take 20 minutes around lunchtime, as close as I can get to lunchtime, and just take a walk on a nice day because I'm at home, so I can do that now. And whenever I would do that, I would come back like way more productive and focused, just 20 minutes. Like, so again, like kind of another good reminder of it's okay to stop in the middle of your day. And like, you know, working at home, I'm sure all of you feel this way, like there's no separation between work and home anymore. So there's no break, like ever. Yep. And that little break would be so helpful, you know, just like get out, just take a few minutes and relax. You'll be better for it. So again, another good reminder of it's worth it. Pays off later.
And there, if you haven't looked, there is so much free content on YouTube in yoga, meditation, anything you can possibly think of. So, you know, if you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I do it not every single day because I'm in some actual like pre-classes that I paid for too. But yeah, if I'm just looking for something that I don't, you know, I just want to listen to a teacher tell me what to do, take me through it. Just like you said, someone guide me into that zone. I call it the zone. Yeah. When you're in that process of being able to let things go. And sometimes when those things are let go, a creative project will come to mind, especially if you're looking for one. So I find that anyway. So like I said, you don't have to spend money on this. You don't need to buy a yoga mat or anything. I mean, you can get one at the dollar store, but you don't need anything. That's kind of the cool thing, especially even with meditation. 5 minutes and YouTube. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you guys so much. I hope you join me in the future as well. I'll be doing a few more. So
awesome. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Wayne.
Nice work, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cool.